We will continue our media availability right now with 4 drivers from the NASCAR Xfinity Series, all of whom are in the playoffs, coming into tomorrow's cutoff race for the round of 12. First off, we have driver the number 5 TMC Chevrolet, Michael Annett. Driver number 62 South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet, Brendan Gaughan. Driver number 21 Anderson's Maple Syrup Chevrolet, Daniel Hemrick. And finally, last but not least, the driver of number 16 Lilly Diabetes Ford, Ryan Reed. Gentlemen, I guess the obvious question is sort of the mindset. You're all in different spots coming into this cutoff race. How you feel about your chances of advancing tomorrow here at Charlotte? Start with you, Daniel, if you don't mind.
Maybe. No, I feel okay. Obviously in this current format, you can never feel great. I don't feel like, but you just got to go to work. You got to put yourself in good positions, and that's what we have to do this weekend. Just make sure we try to do what we've done to get to this point, and that's minimize mistakes. I feel good in the race team, everything we have going for us, and it's always good to be at home. So happy to have a cutoff race here in my home track. It was nice not have to pack a suitcase last night or this morning, and I'm happy to be here.
Great. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest thing we all can sit up here. We know exactly the easiest way to get a lot of points is qualify well tomorrow morning and just stay up there. I mean, I think I'm 7 points out and I can finish second in that first segment and be right be inside the bubble. So it's pretty simple on what we need to do.
And then Ryan, before you start, it's kind of interesting that you guys are sitting next to each other. You're only 2 points difference in the standings. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think this is, as far as what you would expect or what you'd want out of a playoff format, this is it. I mean, this is as tight as it can get, and there's the entire season on the line coming down to one race, and makes for a lot of exciting and a lot of drama. I would rather not be the one that's in this position. I'd rather be kind of watching from afar or be 30 points to the good, but that's not the case. So we just got to go out there, do a really good job all weekend, execute. It starts, here in a couple hours of practice, and if you have a strong weekend, that's, you've had, a lot of races to get here, and a lot of races to figure out where your program's at. And so I feel like our mile-and-a-half stuff's really strong, and I'm glad the cutoff race is here because I feel like we have an opportunity to have a strong race car. And like Michael said, it's going to be not just about where you end up and not having not just a strong finish anymore. It's not like, man, we can just have a safe day and then end up with a top 10 finish and be okay. You got to go out there, and these guys are going to obviously bring out 110%, and they're going to be tough to beat. And so I think that you're going to have to get some stage points, and I think that you're going to have to be up front all day long in order to transfer with as tight as this bubble spot is.
Brennan?
This is what you wanted out of a playoff situation. This is why they built it. That's a great statement for it. It's this is what they wanted. They got it, and it's working really well. You look at the Cup race last week. The playoff situation has worked great for NASCAR. It works great in this case, and for us with the South Point Chevy, it's kind of what we've been doing the last bunch of races, even before the chase. We just have to manage. We have to know what we're racing, who we're racing, manage what you have. If they go for stage points, we better go for stage points. But if we unload bad, if we, this is not the time to come off the trailer and not be the best you can. You better be good from the start, but then you also have to pay attention to what they're doing. If they go for stage points, you go for stage points. You can't just give that away. And in the end, it's going to be a hell of a battle because, we're only talking 2 positions and 6 positions, 7 positions between the 3 of us. So that's nothing. That's you finish 3rd place. It doesn't mean that you're going to be in. That's pretty awesome. So I think this is a great scenario for NASCAR.
Cool. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll open up to questions. We'll start over here with Lee up front and then with Daniel.
Lee Spencer, motorsport.com. Brendan, can you just talk about the events that occurred at Las Vegas over the week? And
I think we're going to have a press conference tomorrow that I'm going to be at that we can talk a bunch about that if you want.
Sure.
This one's more about the playoffs and what's happening right here. I'm not afraid to talk about it, Lee. You know that, but this one is more about the playoff situation right now. Then tomorrow we're going to have another one with I believe Spencer and a couple others of us that are going to be doing something.
Then Daniel, can you talk about the kind of confidence you get signing a new contract, taking that knowledge into the playoffs, knowing you don't have to worry about what you're doing next year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously a very humbling situation to be a part of. I'm very thankful and blessed to To know that I get to move forward through this weekend with family and friends here at the racetrack in my hometown, and to know we get to do it on the weight of I have something going on next year, and I have an opportunity to race. So just so pumped up to be a part of Richard Childress Racing. I feel like right now is obviously to the sport. Everybody knows we're in a kind of a rebuilding mode, and I think we've done that all year on the Xfinity side. I know the Cup side is doing the same thing, and I look forward to being able to stay with the progression of where the company is going. Anytime you can be a part of that, it's a very trying time because you can get down, but I think Richard Childress is a great leader. We have a bunch of great leaders, a lot of depth in our company that's allowing us to take these strides, take them together, good or bad, and to know I get to continue to do that in the future is a very exciting thing.
Fetch. This is the final playoff race here at Charlotte on the oval. They're switching to the Roval for next year. All of you have had some pretty solid numbers on road courses the last couple of years. Brendan, you've won before, so when you look at the changes for the speedway that's coming, what do you think the sport needs? Do you believe that it's a good move, and do you see any concerns, when it comes to this change?
I love road courses. I just hate the name Roval. I think that's an awful name. But I love my road race, and we all know that. And we've been running speedway road courses for years. Hell, Daytona's been doing it for, how long have they been running the 24? 55 years or something now? So, it's nothing new. I'm fortunate that I've been to, run that a few times, and fortunate enough, and I love road racing. And it's what an opportunity to come to NASCAR's home and come to a place that is, in the playoffs now with a road course. Fans have been asking for that, for years, to have one more. The last style of racing that we have is road racing. So to put it in the playoffs, is awesome. And to do it here at Charlotte with the ability to do that road course oval is cool. I've seen they've done a little bit of changes here and there, and can't wait to see how it plays out.
Anyone else on the road course? Okay, we'll go to Daniel, Jacob, and then Chris.
Daniel McFadden with NBC Sports. Daniel, how much was your team kind of thrown for a loop with the suspensions this weekend? How much is that going to hurt you at all this weekend, but just going into all three races of the next round?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt us at all. Obviously, we accepted what happened. We know as a company it's unacceptable, and we're not very proud of how it all went down on our end. But I feel like I talked about the depth of the company earlier, and how we can answer those calls, that depends on us. So I feel solid with the group of guys we have to move forward with. I know Danny Stockman and my engineer back at the shop are still very, very heavily involved with what's going to happen at the racetrack throughout the race weekends, and know that those guys have been a huge part of what's got me to the situation we're in. So I know as a whole, RCR is rallying around myself, Brendan Gaughan here in the Xfinity Series to make sure that we have the best possible shot to run for a championship, and we're going to take what was given to us throughout the week with stride, and I feel like it's not going to affect us in any form of a negative way going forward. I'm confident what we have, what we can do together, and we're going to keep doing that.
Jacob, then Chris.
Jacob Seelman, Performance Motorsports Network. One for Daniel and then one for Ryan. Daniel, coming back for year two next year is obviously big for you, but can you talk a little bit about the growth you've seen out of the 21 team this year and just kind of the progression that you guys have made?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the growth has been pretty substantial, but also I don't want to get lost in the fact that, we started out the year running strong. We had some really good finishes. Heck, we won a Dash for Cash race, or won the Dash for Cash deal at Bristol with, I think, a 4th or 5th place finish, and that was early in the year. So
Yeah, you still owe me money, by the way.
do I?
Yeah.
I think I gave back to you at the casino. No, but so in all honesty, like we showed what we were capable of early in the year, but we also showed at times where we got down and we didn't rebound like we needed to. I think the growth part of it comes into where we've unloaded closer, we've practiced, qualified further up the board, and we've taken that into the race and had better race cars, and that's where we've shown growth. It's eliminate some of the variables, knowing a better baseline, and as a group, that's something to be excited about as we get to this part of the year.
Ryan, I think it's interesting looking at you sitting where you're sitting in points and knowing that a week ago at Dover on the Cup side, your Roush teammate Ricky Stenhouse pulled a gamble. It paid off with stage points, and it ultimately got him to the next round. I mean, with as close as you guys are all sitting, do you feel like it could potentially come down to that type of a gamble again on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. I think we talked about stage points earlier and how important they are, and that's a great example of that. If Ricky didn't go out there and take that gamble and get those stage points, he doesn't advance. So prime example of how important they are. I think that at Charlotte, with tire management being a lot different, you're gonna have a lot more tire wear here. So I think that realistically, it's harder to see that exact scenario playing out. But regardless, it doesn't. The point of that is just how important stage points are. So, to me, what it emphasizes is being able to be a top 10 car and being able to be in position to get those stage points. Just because it's. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a race. It's no different than you can play all these games. You can talk about stage points. You can talk about all the different ways you can kind of work your way into the next round. But we're the two guys sitting around me. We're racing each other, and so if we're faster than them, then we'll be good. If we're not, then we're probably going to get beat. And so our priority needs to be being faster than the guys around me, and that's what we'll do.
Chris?
Chris Knight, catchfans.com. Daniel, was there any consideration to go elsewhere in 2018? And with the crew chief not announced yet for next season, do you have any worries or just any feeling that things might not go as smooth as they have this year and that all the momentum will be lost if he doesn't come back next year?
No, first I'm gonna answer your question backwards if you don't mind. But first off, the crew chief side of things, Danny Stockman has done an incredible job of not only assembling the race team from scratch, as what we did over the offseason, leading into this year. The group of guys have really never worked hand in hand together, and what we did in such a short amount of time was pretty impressive from my side, from the outside looking in, and being involved in it. So I'm proud of that, and we're obviously get through the 4-race suspension with those guys and kind of reevaluate everything over the off season, because that's our time to figure out what's best for my career, what's best for the company moving forward. And like I said, the depth and the leadership at our company, we can make that decision, in a later date and know what's best for everybody moving forward. But our focus is competing for a championship right now in the Xfinity Series. And as far as the talk about going anywhere else, I mean, I just had full confidence in Richard. He's shown that confidence to me, and he's given it to me that there's a way to make it work, that he was going to make sure I was in one of his race cars. So to have somebody have your back like that is incredibly humbling. That's all it takes. You got to have somebody give you a shot, and Richard's done that. So I've stayed as true as I can to him, and I will continue to do that as we move forward.
Any more questions for these guys? All right. Well, thank you so much for the time, gentlemen, and good luck tomorrow.